Michael Saylor has unveiled a plan to purchase $44 billion worth of Bitcoin, which would by far be the largest purchase ever in history. And I think he's going to get there. On top of that, we also need to talk about some news from the stablecoin, from the Clarity Act, about stablecoins and yields. And then to top it all off, I want to share something really exciting with you about new equipment that has come out over the past few months that I've been purchasing. Now, it has nothing to do with any kind of sponsored equipment here at all. This is my personal findings, and I do feel obligated to share that with you because I don't want to withhold anything from you guys. So with that being said, let's get started and get right into the video. All right, let's talk about the most insane piece of news that we've gotten. Michael Saylor has been saying that they have a strategy to buy $44 billion worth of Bitcoin, which is absolutely insane. Now, as you know, they already are offering multiple types of offers, multiple types of investments. The most popular one is their Stretch or STRC offer, which literally gives you 11.5% dividend. Now, this is a variable dividend, but so far it has stayed steady. Now, we have to say that this is not a long-term product, obviously. Stretch hasn't been around for that long, but something that is extremely interesting to see is how well it has held up so far. And on top of that, we are in a not so favorable market for crypto when it comes to the past couple of months. Now, the future looks really bright, and we are really confident that Bitcoin is going to be performing well in the future. But as of right now, strategy is really getting tested. You remember when Bitcoin was dropping low, and when we've basically from 120K just straight went down. That was not good. And even Michael Saylor started getting a little worried, to be completely honest with you. But as you can see now, they are really confident that they've made the right decision, and I do believe that in the end, they are going to succeed. Stretch has been extremely popular. It has traded under the $100 par value there for a little bit, but overall, it is a really, really interesting product. And again, they are estimating that there's going to be so much interest in their product that they are going to be able to purchase $44 billion worth of Bitcoin, which is insane. Now, keep in mind, their goal is to own 1 million Bitcoin, which they're getting somewhat close to. And honestly, if there's any company that can get there, I do believe that it is Strategy. Now, the second piece of news that we need to discuss here is the Stablecoin Clarity Act news. Now, we have heard today that within the discussion to basically move the Clarity Act forward, the biggest problem right now is rewards or yields on your stablecoin. The huge issue, and the issue that has always been the biggest problem with this Clarity Act and why we've gotten pushback in the very end, is that banks on the one side have very strict regulations so they can offer yield. Now, stablecoins don't have the same kinds of regulations because they are not a regulated bank in the same way banks are. You know that banks have to abide by the fractional reserve banking system, which essentially means that they are under very strict rules so they can, essentially utilize the fractional reserve banking, which basically just means that they only have to hold about 10% of the actual underlying cash, and the remaining 90% they can now lend out to other people. So if you deposit your $100, the bank ain't got $100 sitting around for you. Now, obviously, with a lot of people depositing, there should always be enough, but we have had bank runs before, and so there is a lot of risk associated with it, which means these banks need to be under very strict legislation. Crypto, on the other side, has 100% reserve, which essentially means that companies like Tether, Circle, they provide the backing. They indicate that they have 100, if not more, of reserves backing their stablecoin, which basically means the risk of a bank run, so to speak, comparing it with our banks, is really non-existent. And that's why they're arguing, saying, we should not be held to the same standards than banks. Banks are inherently risky. We are not. We're providing essentially just a digital equivalent, while also, and this is why the federal government likes it, while also buying bonds, right? We're buying basically bonds from the government, which means the government gets money. The federal government actually likes the idea of these stablecoins because they are a great product for individuals to get a higher yield and for the federal government to basically issue more debt. Now, one man just continues talking about crypto, and this is hyper bullish. Now, one thing you need to remember about BlackRock and Larry Fink is that BlackRock knows significantly more about what is happening in the world than you do. Not only because they have the right context, but also because they have computational power to actually properly model what the outcome could look like, and they have the financial backing. They are the biggest asset manager in the world, which means they're the ones calling the shots. When they're calling the shots on crypto, guess what's going to happen? Crypto's going to succeed. So even though this might not be the best way or maybe the fairest way, I would very closely listen to what Larry Fink has to say, because if he says that that's what they're moving into, that's what they are doing, then I think we can have a really high confidence that that's actually what's going to happen. Now, a lot of times you'll hear banks that talk about, risk somewhere, or things are really bullish, or things are really bearish. That is different from someone directly saying, this is what we are doing, where we are putting our money, this is where we are putting our attention into. The wording, the way this is being conveyed is very different. That's why I like listening to Larry Fink, because he talks about what he is doing in terms of what BlackRock is doing, not just what they're seeing in the economy, right? Very different from someone like Jamie Dimon, who also very openly talks about the economy and the things they see, but he would never talk about the things they actively do, which is a really big difference here. Now, guys, I do want to cover something that's extremely important to me because I love crypto mining. And this is something I've been passionate about for years now. I've been in the crypto mining realm for a very long time. I've been here way before the ETH merge. I've been mining ETH for a long time. It was really fun. And now the past couple of years, they have not been fun. We're really feeling still the after effects of, essentially the ETH merge, coming from a very profitable coin and other projects that were just as profitable to essentially a space where nothing is profitable and it's just really boring, because as soon as there are profits, they get eaten up really fast because everyone starts turning on their equipment. Now, something that a lot of people are not looking into is CPU mining. Everyone knows ASICs. Everyone knows GPUs. Very few people actually understand and know how to properly run FPGAs. But the CPU realm is something that very little people have touched base on. Now, you've probably seen a lot of videos from Rabbit, which I love. Thank you for all of your videos. You have really helped me in my experience with CPU mining. But something that a lot of people, and I don't know why, but a lot of YouTubers have not covered, is the CPU mining realm, specifically with the more recent CPUs that have come on the market. You have seen the new MacBook, where we're essentially now having a mobile CPU in real PC or real computer equipment like a laptop, which is crazy to see how powerful these things are. But when it comes to crypto mining, there's another thing that most people forget about, and this is where, in this case, Minisforum is really, really starting to shine. Now, here you can see that, and this is just one company, which, in my opinion, from what I have seen, and please let me know if there's something else, but what I've seen is these guys are extremely affordable, and they have the best prices that I have been able to find so far for really good equipment. Now, obviously you would say, wait, but Yellowstone, $3,000, how is that affordable? No, I'm not talking about this thing. Now, keep in mind, they have a lot of AI and LLM products obviously out here, which can get really expensive depending on what it is, right? Ryzen AI Max. We don't care about this because this is not for mining. What we do care about is these HX CPUs, which is absolutely insane. Now, going down the list here, I'm just gonna click on the AMD products because what I want to find is these things. These things are awesome. These things are insane. Let's click on it. Now, what this is, it is a pre-built motherboard with a mobile CPU chip already on the motherboard. What that means is that you cannot update them like your typical, AM5 platform, but it comes with a cooler already, and all you have to do is just add a standard fan on top and you are good to go. Now, the crazy thing, And before you ask me, yes, they do have a full PCIe lane, which is awesome. You can throw a GPU on here. In fact, right now, while recording this video, I am running one of these mini motherboards in a mini form factor PC with a full on, well, it is a low profile GPU, but these things are awesome. They're extremely powerful, and the craziest thing is they have 16 cores, 32 threads, which is perfect for RandomX because we need the cores, we need the threads. And on top of that, they have 64 megabytes of L3 cache, which is also exactly what we want. We need a lot of that L3 cache so we can mine even more. These things are basically made for cryptocurrency mining. It is absolutely insane. Now, if you think that's it, let me tell you about something that's even crazier. I have set up these things on, obviously, all my CPU mining rigs are replaced with these Minisforum boards. The craziest thing I have ever seen is, I remember when I was running 5950Xs, and if you remember the hash rate on RandomX, they're usually running around 15, 16 or so kilohash. These things, they can run closer to 20 kilohash probably, but if you dial them down and run them on peak efficiency, the entire system on the wall right now for me runs under 70 watts. It runs at like 65 watts. And I'm getting 16 kilohash on these things. I kid you not, the efficiency is so ridiculous, that is so crazy, that I cannot believe how efficient these boards are. And I cannot believe how the CPU mining realm is not going crazy over these. Now on top of that, think about the price here. This is absolutely insane to see this good of a price. And on top of that, usually they have some extra sales. Now in this case they don't, $419. But, and this is something I wanted to show you as well, is this is not all. Now we don't care about the 7745. Now, if you keep going through here, there is obviously a lot more that you can get. Now, they used to have the 790, which has the 7945HX and the HX3D. The 7945HX has been the best CPU for me because they were the cheapest, the most affordable, and there is still a way to get them. You can see they're sold out because they're replacing them with the 8945, which is essentially literally the exact same thing. It's just newer, which means potentially there's more support for software in the future. But if you go to their refurbished, and this, I kid you not, this is where the offers are, this is where the sales are. Now, I check this website probably once a day just to see if there's new stuff on here. They have very little inventory, but they do update new inventory probably about once a week. And this inventory goes quick. So if you want to grab some of these, I have seen these board for less than $300 for the 7945HXs. It is insane, and the refurbished are great. They really are great. They have warranty on it, and I have never had any issues with this. I literally had more issues with my full-on AMD CPUs, which even those never have problems, than I had with these Minisforum boards. These things are absolutely insane. These mobile CPUs are made for crypto mining, and if you're interested in it, please, I don't have an affiliate link or anything like that. This is literally just me giving you information about CPU mining because I love it. Now on the GPU mining side, the only thing I would ever buy right now is the 170HXs. There's literally nothing else that I would buy right now. One thing to keep in mind is that there's a 10 gigabyte version and there's an 8 gigabyte version. You can see that the 10s are typically a little more affordable. The main reason why is because the 10 gigabyte version do not have the ability to be upgraded to a new custom firmware, which actually allows you to pull even more of the core clock or the core voltage with the core offset, which makes them even more efficient. That only works on the 8 gigabyte versions with a custom BIOS. It's a little tricky to get, but it's really become very simple now. It was extremely difficult to find it back in the days. So again, if you buy anything for GPU mining, which to be completely fair, it's kind of not, I mean, it really is not profitable right now at all. I would stay away unless you're as ballsy as me and thinking that things are going to go back. So the only GPUs I have, and I have basically ready to go, are these 170HXs. There's really nothing else I can recommend. So guys, there you have it. Crypto's not dead. Things are happening. There's so much good. There's so many good things happening right now in crypto. I hope you stay bullish. It is worth it. So many people behind the scenes are building this platform, are building this environment, and I hope you stick around because I know things are gonna come back. I have been here for many years. The feeling, like the uncertainty that you feel about, maybe this is it. Maybe we're done with crypto. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe I made a mistake. I can guarantee you, it feels like this every single time, and there have been a lot of bad news, and the fact that you're still here watching these videos tells me that you're not done with the space, and that's why the space is not done with you. Wonderful.